There's a high likelihood that we're going to be seeing all-time record lows at the box office, not even adjusted for inflation, in the early stages of 2024, because what's supposed to be coming out? I have no idea, because all of the carryover, there is no Avatar 2 coming out right now. What we have right now is what you're going to be getting heading into January, and oh boy, nobody's checking out anything. And for as much praise as The Color Purple was getting, oh my god, it had the second best opening on Christmas Day. It fell off harder than most of its cast, but post-Christmas movie-going, not shiny and bright as Wonka bests Aquaman 2 with low $9 million Tuesday box office. Yeah, it's not great. Is really not great at all. Typically, the momentum of Christmas moviegoing spills over into December 26th. And yeah, throughout this week, it's set up perfectly. Christmas was on a Monday. You got the entire week off. And then you got New Year's. New Year's Day is going to be on another Monday. Like, there's a great opportunity for some gains to be made. But, well, leave it up to Hollywood to go and fumble the bag. But that wasn't the case this year, as Warner Brothers' Wonka led all titles with $8.9 million, the second lowest take for a number one movie after Christmas since 2000. Yo! Ahead of the studio's own Wonder Woman 1984. Yo! Which made $5.8 million when the bulk of the nation's cinemas were closed due to the coup. Yo! In the last 2 years, the post-pandemic, the number one movie on December 26th cleared some, $30 million, plus a single day. We're talking Spooderman, No Way Home. Oh, right, that was in 2021. Yeah, and then 2022's Aquaman. It's a different blue person underwater. Avatar, The Way of Water, pre-COVID heyday, December 26th, Boxing Day for you non-Americans. Delivered $56.7 million for the Star Wars, The Force Awakens. That wasn't The Force Awakens. That was the Rise of Skywalker. Sorry about that. In 2019, a record almost of cash earned by a movie the day after Christmas. Yeah, exactly. Everybody just wanted to see, oh my god, how is this going to end? Warner Brothers DC, yes, Aquaman 2 or Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom for your viewing pleasure. After leading the weekend with a 4-day $38.3 million, fell to the number 2 spot at $8.3 million. I just want to talk about The Color Purple here for a second, because Color Purple was completely revived. The movie musical, The God Awful Marketplace, saw $7 million at 3,152 theaters, 61% down from the Christmas $18.15 million. Not great. Not great at all, but just go ahead and champion that opening day number, okay? That looks really good, because the fall off is precipitous. But guess what, guys? We have an answer as to what everybody was doing, okay? Because they were watching movies, okay? They were definitely watching movies. It was just on Netflix and not at the cinema, okay? And it was for all of those people. They just wanted to stick it to evil DC, and they were out there watching the rest of the DCEU, and of course, the newest pseudo outing, okay? In the big overarching Snyderverse with Rebel Moon, if you will. It garnered almost 24 million views in the first 3 days. Oh my god, that's a huge success. Just don't look at any of the reviews and don't watch it for yourself. Well, even if you can without getting a headache. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, has kicked off with the viewing numbers that suggest a solid start to an original franchise. Sure. The Netflix announced Tuesday that the science fiction fantasy was most viewed title on the streaming giant following its debut the night of December 21st, generating 23.9 million views in in 3 plus a few hours days. The numbers are a solid kickoff to the movie, which doesn't have a big A-listers and is flying on the strength of the filmmaking brand of Snyder, who is best known for directing DC superhero movies such as Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and his Justice League film. Oh yeah, great. And also they're trying to capitalize on his Zack Snyder's Justice League. What do I mean by that? That'll become a little bit more apparent very shortly. Rebel Moon was the bright star of the week for Netflix. For comparison's sake, the next most viewed title was the sci-fi tinged Leave the World Behind. Oh yes, the racist Obama movie, the drama starring Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, and Mahershala Ali, and produced by the Obamas, which clocked in 19.7 million views in 7 days of viewing. It's been truly unparalleled experience introducing Rebel Moon to global audiences, and I'm thrilled that the movie is #1 around the world, said Snyder, which, you know what, hey, for all of the guff that I'm going to give the guy, I can go ahead and, at least give him credit where credit is due. He went out and he did thank the fans for watching his film, making it #1 movie on Netflix and in like 60 countries around the world, just on Netflix and all that stuff. And he's really happy about, being able to introduce part 2 that's going to be coming out on April 19th that I'm not going to watch, but I'm really looking forward to seeing a bunch of the reviews like I have for this one. And oh boy, it's been scathing. It's been a truly unparalleled experience introducing Rebel Moon to global audiences, and I'm thrilled that the movie is #1 around the world, Snyder said in a statement. We have the most dedicated and loyal fans across the world. Can confirm that any filmmaker could ask for, and seeing them consistently be supportive has been an enormously rewarding experience. While Rebel Moon opens strong, more telling will be the week 2 numbers. Here's where things get a little bit uncomfortable. Insiders say the second week tends to be big for movies as they get a full week of viewing as opposed to just the opening weekend. And it's also when word of mouth kicks in, which won't help it this time around. Moon does have some competition it needs to catch up on. However, Leave the World Behind opened to a whopping 41.7 million views, and it didn't nearly have the same type of marketing that Rebel Moon did. The threshold to hit Netflix's top 10, which counts as racked up in the first 91 days, is the 135 million mark. Okay. Number 10 spot is held by Extraction 2. Hear good things about that. A Chris Hemsworth action movie with 134.9 million views, going up the list to the top. Movies such as The Mother, Adam Project, Don't Look Up, is Red Notice, with 230.9 million views, starring Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Gal Gadot. Kal-El, no, we will not be getting a sequel. It's like the prince will not save her because that's weird. What's attracting people? Okay, because it's definitely not the script. It's not the characters. It's not the plot, it's not the cinematography that's driving people to watch this on Netflix or Groomerflix if you're so inclined to watch cuties after you catch a viewing of Rebel Moon. It's just simply got to be the vagina portals. Like, look at this. Look at this. What are you doing? Zack, you infantile goof. But Zack Snyder confirms that Rebel Moon's portals are not inspired by vaginas. No. They just give birth to dick-shaped spacefaring ships. Like, what are we doing? All of that will make sense. It's actually 100% correct for the mythology that actually folds space for the Mother World. The Mother World with vagina portals. That's the name of the the enemy faction. But again, phallic symmetry or iconography is not something that Zack Snyder is unfamiliar with. But yeah, he had little dick ships in Man of Steel. He's literally 16 years old, okay? It is funny after all, but brother, you're having to overcome. You're having to overcome any sort of lasting power by going, hey guys, no, don't worry. After you watch this and you have this terrible taste in your mouth, things will totally get better because actually Netflix, you won't believe it, guys. Okay, there was studio meddling this time around and I couldn't share my vision with everybody. Nope, couldn't happen at all whatsoever. Nope, didn't happen. I had to make a more palatable PG-13 offering this time around, but don't worry, guys. We got you covered. Okay, I had some negotiations with Netflix and we could have my R-rated version come out before the release on April 19th of The Scargiver. You're going to be able to see my 4-hour epic of a girl on fire. Wait, why is nobody coming around to this? This is crazy because everybody's sick of this. It's getting memed into the ground and back again and then back into the ground because everybody's tired of this trite response. You're not an auteur, you're autistic. Rebel Moon star Ed Screen, most notably known as Dario Naharis 1, which of course Zack Snyder, being the unoriginal hack that he is, hey guys, look at how cool it was. I cast both Dario Naharis actors in my film. That was really great and all. Like, I thought that character was still looking after Marine, given the fact that he never got a conclusion and that plot line was left as wide open as, well, one of your portals in space. But on top of all of the other hacky references or just blatant ripoffs that you made from other films out there, there, like a 1-to-1 recreation of the Star Wars A New Hope cantina scene. All of your blatant Seven Samurai homages. Like, come on, man, you're such a hack. Make something original. It's so funny. It's so funny where everybody watches this and they come away going, wow, we really had a bunch of winks and nods to a bunch of different films out there. Whenever somebody watches a latter-day, non-adaptive, non-hand-holdy Zack Snyder affair, nobody ever sees a Zack Snyder movie. They just see better films that inspired this nonsense. Rebel Moon star Ed Skrein talks hardcore director's cut and Olivia Colman inspiration. Ugh. That's who you're taking your tips from, and you're supposed to be this big, overarching, evil bad guy. Come on, man. Rebel Moon star Ed Skrein has created his most memorable villain yet. Yes, Admirable Atticus Noble. See, guys, he's a bad guy with the name Noble. Oh my God, I'm so original. And he found inspiration in the unlikeliest source, Olivia Colman, alongside Sophia Boutellus' Cora. Another original name for a sci-fi character. The English actor is the de facto co-lead of Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon ensemble as his admiral. Oh, see, that's why I mispronounced it, because that's the way that they wrote it. Admirable Atticus Noble. It's supposed to be Admiral. Commandeers the Veld farming village that Cora... Yeah, we need to starve the farmers of the galaxy so we could get one good harvest out of them, and then they'll all die, so then we can't get another harvest. I love the plots of films that make a lot of sense. The hostile takeover prompts Cora to get together. Yeah. Let's just get to the, goofy stuff. Okay, I adopted the singy-songy, almost thespian voice. So I thought that would be intriguing and interesting and against type. And I actually based the voice on Olivia Colman. Fantastic stuff. But are we going to get more of it in the R-rated cut? The interviewer asked, well, I dug into the introduction of the world of Rebel Moon, but I can't stop thinking about the unadulterated cut. Yeah, see, guys, this is totally going to make it all better. Yeah, that was always going to be part of the dynamic of structuring it in this way. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember anyone ever doing this before. No, it definitely wasn't one of those cases where, just like Zack Snyder rips off better concepts from other films, Netflix decided to rip off other concepts from different studios by trying to recapture the meme value, all of the word of mouth generated by the Justice League Snyder Cut. We need to release the Snyder Cut. So they're trying to do this whole, we're just going to give you this more palatable right around the holiday season with the PG-13 Rebel Moon, and then run it back a couple of months later with this R-rated cut. And we know what the R stands for when it comes to Zack Snyder. Let's just say he's got a helmet and he never leaves home without it. Knowing what we shot for with the R-rated version, Zack and Netflix, it did an incredible job of putting together a PG-13 version. It was always an interesting proposition to see what they did with the PG-13 cut, and I was really pleased. I feel like it's a really strong piece, but the shadow of the Snyder Cut looms large. See, the Snyder Cut. My son is 12 years old. Oh, great. So he's also on the same wavelength as Zach. And he came to the London premiere and loved it. I also brought my godson, my nephew, my best mate, and they loved it because PG-13 cut is really for that demographic. But I feel it has the potential to be something seminal for that demographic. But the R-rated version, the Snyder Cut, the extended cut, as we're supposed to call it, has the potential to be something seminal for an older generation. Hopefully just simply fucking coherent. How about something like that? Because, oh my God, Zach, hopefully you're going to be mired in this for a while. You can just go ahead and spin your wheels and just lost in the sauce, creating this go nowhere franchise. Can you just go ahead and do that for a long time? Because that would be great. I don't want you to go ahead and mess up anything else, because for whatever reason, you continue to get work. And if your wishes get granted, if they take a look at those streaming numbers from Netflix and they decide, hey, you know what? We haven't done enough damage to the James Bond IP. We're going to go ahead and let you have your gritty retelling, okay, about how James Bond, okay, in order to get his 00 license, ended up having to, perform an 8-month abortion of triplets. Like, what are we doing? Goddamn edgelord. Zack Snyder's 007, I would die, okay, like, for as many a long-term Bond fans were absolutely disgusted with what happened with No Time to Die. If Zack Snyder comes across a James Bond feature, I will be apoplectic. It would be cool to see a 20-year-old James Bond. There has to be something there. Yeah, exactly, because we need another origin story, because that started off so well. To be fair, Casino Royale is a masterpiece. One of my probably top 5, at least top 10, if not top 5 favorite films ever. But we know how it ends. It's not great, especially, you know, Zack Snyder's murderous proclivities when it comes to origin stories. Mr. Laser the Embryos, Mr. Krypton had its chance. Superman that's just learning to fly and kills millions of people in Metropolis. Yeah, that'll be great. Can't wait for James Bond to do something equally stupid. Zack Snyder has spent the last several years attempting to launch a new IP for Netflix, but his action zombie epic, yeah, Army of the Dead. Why doesn't anybody talk about that? Because, okay, cool. Yeah, Rebel Moon is the first opportunity that Zack Snyder is completely and totally unrestrained. We're finally going to be able to see him fully in action without any studio meddling. Well, you got that back in 2020 with Army of the Dead, and nobody talks about it because it was a dumpster fire that people got headaches from trying to watch because he's such a visionary. He's such a visionary, he doesn't even think proper focus on his camera is important. Let's see what he has to say about this before we peace out. I mean, like, how much IP is there? Snyder recently said in an interview with The Atlantic, before thinking of at least one bit of an IP that he might like to tackle one day, I think it would be cool to see like a 20-year-old James Bond. The humble roots that he comes from, whatever trauma, oh my god, of youth that makes you able to be James Bond. There has to be something there. With Daniel Craig's tenure thankfully over as James Bond over, yes, following the 2021 release of No Time to Die, the franchise's architects are currently figuring out how to stick a black woman in it. Reboot, yes, 007 for his next set of adventures. Oh my god, if they actually do the unthinkable, I'm talking about the Ian Fleming franchise, or the estate, right? Okay, the rights holder, which is Amazon. Oh god, please don't. Okay, if they actually do the unthinkable and cast Henry Cavill as a proper 007, and then that invites Zack Snyder to come over, that'd be the only way that they could possibly sully that, because, you know, it'll at least be good. If Henry Cavill gets the opportunity to finally be James Bond, as he should have been, okay, because Casino Royale would have been just as good, if not better, if it was Henry Cavill. Christ almighty, talk about taking the wind out of everybody's sails if they do that. There was also talk that Christopher Nolan, like, okay, the guy that Zack Snyder fancies himself as, there was talk that he could be interested in doing something with the Bond IP, which would be terrific. But if we're going to be getting another high-profile director for whatever is going to happen with Bond, I would much rather take a roll of the dice on literally any other random creator that's out there. Go ahead and stick with your own IP. Drive it completely into the ground, and then everybody will just continue to make excuses for it because, yeah, you're getting plenty of those right now, and a lot of people are out there championing, oh, look at the numbers on Netflix, that Netflix is reporting about Netflix's biggest, most expensive IP. Ooh, look at how big of a success that is. Just wait until that 4-hour R-rated cut comes out. Wait for part 2 to come out. We'll just see those numbers and see how well they stack up to its maiden voyage when everybody was anticipating that Rebel Moon might actually be something. It might actually be that vaunted Star Wars killer at a time when Star Wars couldn't look any more dead than it is right now. Are they going to be giving you the benefit of the doubt the second time around? Don't know. Can't say for sure. The only thing that I can say is, oh boy, what a disaster. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.